what did you think about YouTube going down?
I
thought that was just my phone or my Wi-Fi.
Right. Is our cable box on? Yeah, make sure that's on. Well, I think it's a test.
For what?
It's a test
So
for...
you said that and I don't understand you.
They do these little tests early on.
Yeah.
To see if the people response is what it is. You know, if there's shock value, and people did lose their mind when YouTube went down for an hour and a half.
Apparently Pornhub's traffic spiked.
When YouTube was out, Pornhub's traffic spiked.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Right? So a lot of times these are test runs. Maybe YouTube is going to start charging people. A lot of people's whole life is on YouTube in terms of the archives of the videos. You know what I mean? I'm uncomfortable with not being in control of anything. Right. And you know how I feel about that.
Facts.
So
Facts.
we already are going to take a contingency plan to make sure we don't get caught with our pants down.
Yeah.
Pause. You know what I mean? So that we don't find ourselves in a situation, because we're in the information age. And because we're in the information age, the ones who dictate and control information, they can't stop it, but the ones who can control it are the gatekeepers. You know what I mean? So public opinion, YouTube is the second most visited site from what I understand. You know what I'm saying?
I would assume so.
Behind Google. So it's Google.
And Google owns YouTube.
And YouTube. So they are in the information of business.
Business of information, yes.
And they're in the business of information.
Yes.
So understanding having too much information is like having no information at all. Try to Google some shit. And the damn many choices you get, some contradictory to the other one.
Yeah.
Right? So now that leaves you in a state of, suspension on if this information is validated or if it is not. So, and perception is everything. You know what I mean? So YouTube going down to me is in connection with this Facebook stuff that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
It's all one big story being told. So YouTube goes out for an hour and a half. People lose their minds, right? Some people's whole source of income, their whole person, everything is YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So what do you do if YouTube goes dark? I'm going to connect this to Trump sending you a message on your phone. All of this shit is connected. So when we get further down the line...
No, I wanted to lead into the Facebook conversation.
Oh, okay. So it's all one conversation.
Yeah, so
okay.
I think it's all one conversation. So this week, like, how many, like, at least a couple million YouTube pages, Facebook pages got deleted. And these were just political pages, either like left or right wing.
Right.
Political pages, and they got deleted.
Right.
So, we talked about freedom of speech and how, like, it really doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't.
Especially if you're on somebody else's platform to get your message out there.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't exist.
Absolutely.
So what do you do if Facebook is gone, YouTube is gone?
You know what I do?
next?
I go back to the life I was living before we started this shit.
Yeah.
I'm only here because you here. You asked me to do this shit, I would be watching the game right now.
Not living to his full potential.
No, I live into my full potential because
I helped you.
When I want to write a book or I want something to say, I say it. Other than that, I mind my business.
You're supposed to be writing a book.
Yeah, I am. I'm writing it in my mind first.
Yeah, okay.
That's the way that works, and then it trickles down to a physical reality.
Yeah.
But in reality, check this out. Listen to what's been going on. Trump sends everybody a message. Right? Cosby constitutional rights violated.
Right.
He goes to jail.
Right.
2 hurricanes, Florence, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, they take Alex Jones down.
Everything.
Simultaneously, companies that have nothing to do with each other simultaneously shut him down.
Yeah.
PayPal even shuts him down. Mm-hmm. Right? Kavenaugh gets in on the same shit Cosby doesn't get in on.
He got locked up on.
Harvey Weinstein is going to win his fucking case. All of this shit is happening simultaneously, and now YouTube decides to give its test run. I think all of this is connected. Sometimes you got to step back away from the board. Something big seems to be happening or be coming down the pipe. And then there was the financial shit. The stock market crashed a little bit. Nobody talked about that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all of this shit happening, and it's all happening. They might be switching us over to the Bitcoin or whatever it is going on. All of this might be happening simultaneously, in my humble opinion. So, my decoders, get out there and pay close attention in this time before we come into so-called 2019, because when we get into 2020, whatever it is that they've been implementing will probably be in full blast. Meanwhile, Kanye goes up to the White House. All of this shit is happening simultaneously. So some of it is a distraction while they're signing bills. Melania Trump,
yes.
What's her name? Melania Trump. Her plane had to make an emergency landing yesterday.
Oh.
All right, because of some smoke shit. You know what I'm saying? So understand all of these things.
Trump trying to kill his wife?
Maybe somebody trying to send him a message like, yo, dude, this could pop. In Islam, the journalists.
In Saudi Arabia.
You know what I'm saying? So all of this stuff, while it appears to be chaos, it's one story being told, and we got to be on our grind and not get confused with what Kanye said or what the fuck Drake. And, we'll talk about that.
We're gonna talk about that.
Well, we'll talk about it. Yeah. But do not be confused. I'm always trying to get you, when everybody's looking this way, just take a peek that way. Just take a peek.
Because so let's be completely honest, right? You ever see these?
Completely honest? I never really liked you. Never really.
Right. So when we see these movies like these dystopian futures, and they have an authoritarian type government or dictatorship, and we think like, how did they let that happen? When it's always some like fiction America, like some like America, like that. How did they let that happen? Watching this administration do whatever they want with impunity.
Yes.
Like you talk about the Facebook, YouTube, how they can control whatever they want. If they were to say, listen, we had a nice run with this, democracy, now it's over. What can we, in actuality, do?
In actuality, you are going to be the one who asks for it. That's the way this shit works. Right. This is all mental, right? But your participation mentally, the more people I get to agree with it, accelerates this process. Right? So if it's all mental, it doesn't mean you're not participating. It means just that you are participating in it. So things are so fucked up, man. Remember, the Hegelian effect, problem, reaction, solution. Mm-hmm. That shit all works one on one. There's so much killings out here. We need to get rid of all the guns. Okay. And then they take all the guns. Now we assed out.
Yeah.
Pause. You know what I mean? And so forth and so on. So, but they move things along gradually to the point where you think that you have accelerated to the point that you are, but they wanted you to be there the whole time. All right? That's just the way mind control works, but your participation. And 85% of the population don't give a shit either way. So we get them to vote not because their vote counts. We get them to vote so that the energy in the astral realms and above can be in agreement with the shit we pulling off. Because we already know your president is not elected, he's selected. Right? Let's clap that up. Right?
And remember, you had a point about the dinner that Obama gave.
Right. So let's go back to the presidential dinner. I don't know the name of it. In the chat room, you might know where, once a year the president comes out and he does his stand-up. And, all the big shots are there and the press is there. If you remember, 2 years ago,
that wasn't
3 years ago, they were making fun of Donald Trump. It was 3 years ago. He's been the president for 2 years.
I don't think it was that year.
I think it was 3 years ago. People in the chat room can correct me. That's fine. But anyway, it was one of them congressional dinners where Barack was on fire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was telling jokes about Trump, and everybody in the room was laughing at Trump.
Yeah, they were.
And when you saw Trump's face, he wasn't laughing. He stood there and was looking around at everybody like he knew something that you did not. Usually, if the joke is on you, it's a roasting. Everybody will laugh. You know what I'm saying? They made fun of the vice presidents, and they make fun of Trump from time to time. He the only one who wasn't laughing. And he had a stoic look on his face like, okay, laugh now. because he understands that the president is not elected, they're selected. But your participation in it
I told you
helps the process along so that it seems like the universe is in agreement with what's taking place. That's the way magic works.
Because I told you when I watched the Trump documentary on Netflix, they highlighted that moment actually.
Right, and he said that this is the moment that spurred him to go along. Bullshit. Yeah. Bullshit. These people in power are 20 and 30 years ahead of us in how they do things and who they want. And remember, I keep telling y'all, Trump is connected to Obama because they let a nigga become the president in this country. Mm-hmm. How's that possible, right? Yeah. The most racist country in the world, that must means that this was something that's a part of a plan. In 2004, at the Democratic Convention, when he spoke for the first time, we didn't know who this nigga was, right? Phil Valentine said, that's going to be your next president. He said it right on the spot. That will be your next president. And lo and behold, he became the president. So for 8 years, racist people were suppressing their true feelings. When you suppress something down, it usually springs up twice as high as you suppressed it. So 8 years in this country, and then what they did was they dangled a woman in front of you. There are 3 things in this country racist white people cannot accept: niggas, women, and them goddamn gays. So behind Barack, they was bringing you Hillary. So they dangled her. So Trump was the solution for those who had been suppressing their true feelings for that long. It's not that complicated.
Shout out to King Kunta.
Thank you, King Kunta. So now these people have their opportunity to truly express how they feel because he's echoing their sentiments, and you're sitting around saying, how the fuck did this happen? Mm-hmm. Well, it happened just the way it was supposed to happen because the orchestrators understand. We just trying to get a peek behind the curtain now to see what's really going on. So every time one of us are up here decoding or trying our best to, all we trying to do is get a peek behind the curtain so we can stop falling for the okie doke. All right? So that's how that will work in this country. They've been talking one world order and all that shit for years. And they have the power to go back into the future, into the past, and change shit to direct the future. Now, that what the fuck are you talking about?
You just lost
Right. I know. I'm going to explain to you. Remember, we're thinking about time in the linear sense, like one line of time. Those who understand time know past, present, and future exist simultaneously, and you can go back on the timeline. They call it the Mandela effect now, where they change some shit that integrates into your futuristic understanding of things. And you go, well, wasn't that shit blue before? So I don't think the Illuminati, this is just my humble opinion, ever existed. I think the niggas went and wrote some books about some motherfucker that didn't exist. We started reading those books, and because all of this shit exists simultaneously, we created the Illuminati, and now we are afraid of some shit that we fucking created in our mind. Clap that up.
I don't know about clapping that up.
I'm drinking water, ice water, so God ain't on no shit. I'm telling you. They are 50 years ahead of us in their technology. They have the power to send E.T. home. See, because you're thinking about time in a sense like this, right? And you walk across the fucking table, and the shit took 3 hours to go across the park. When these motherfuckers are bending time in space, they're hopping over, and then they're opening that shit back up, and they're way over the other side of the universe. Let's clap that shit up. Yeah. Get metaphysical on y'all motherfuckers tonight. Yeah. So, this is the technology they're using, so you think your little iPhone 10 is the shit. That's how you dumb people down and keep motherfuckers twisted. These motherfuckers are devious, and they're laying shit down so that you may ask that they take your rights, they take your guns. My children are missing. Children are missing. We need to implant all the children so that now the parents can go to their phone and have a fucking device and know where their children are at all times. You're going to ask for that shit because all the kids is missing. What else we going to do? We don't know where all these kids are. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to be asking for shit that, is our demise, in my humble opinion.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. All right. Peace. This is the Black Dot. author of the underground classic Hip Hop Decoded and Urban Culture Decoded. For 15 years, I've been decoding hip hop, breaking it down, giving you it piece by piece, the DNA of hip hop, all of its multifaceted components. For the next 15 years, I want you to join me as I give you hip hop recoded and we put it back together, giving you its RNA so that we don't leave the next generation lost. But I have to give you a disclaimer. I am not a hip hop guru. This is not hip hop law. This is for pure entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor. So before you take the red pill and go with us into the matrix of hip hop, consult your doctor to see if hip hop recoded is for you. With that being said, we thank you for your patronage and we see you on the other side. Peace.